Hey guys, PIEGUYRULZ here, and welcome back to Square Theory. So, why does SpongeBob use a lot of computer-generated, or CG, imagery in its show? Especially after the movie, they started using more and more computer generation in the show itself. And now, of course, the second movie is a whole different beast because that is a hybrid of 2D and CG animation, and the CG animation kicks in only at a point. It's not really merged in the middle of the movie. I'm more talking about in the show when they do things like make Patrick's rock be CG, or they make the ground that the characters walk on be CG, stuff like that. And that ground example in particular is one that even popped up a lot before the first movie, so it was a pre-movie thing. I just kind of wanted to explain what I think are the two main reasons that they decided to use these CG shots, because it's the second thing didn't really occur to me. I was always kind of confused why they used it for certain things, and I wasn't sure why until it really dawned on me. And I may have spoken about this before, but I really kind of wanted to just make a Square Theory on it, just to talk a little bit about it for anyone who isn't entirely in the know of how animation works. So, first of all, the first reason to use CG is simply stylistic reasons. Things like the House Fancy transitions in that episode with House Fancy, yeah, that's the name of the episode. Things like, the transitions there, things like in Atlantis Square Panis, where the inside of the bus is all CG. These are done just for style reasons. The transitions in House Fancy, it's a TV show within SpongeBob, so it kind of makes sense why they'd want to do it in a little bit different of a style to differentiate it. And inside of the boat bus in Atlantis Square Panis, most of that special has CG elements. There's a lot of them. There's a lot of art shifts in that episode in particular, and so the bus, I guess, is just another one of those art shifts to show that the Atlantis Square Panis vehicle is otherworldly. It's from Atlantis. Personally, I think that looks terrible. I think it looks like a plastic McDonald's toys insides. But that is the reason they did it. Just stylistic, for art reasons. And that's kind of obvious when they do it. It makes sense for certain objects. A lot of shows will do it for like alien devices and stuff like that. It really does give an otherworldly feel to it, and sometimes it's just for the sake of something being different. Now, the other reason is something that had confused me for the longest time until it just dawned on me one day. The reason why Patrick's rock, for example, is CG in some episodes, the reasons why I've even seen Squidward's door be CG in some episodes, and the ground that the characters walk on is CG, there's a simple reason for it, and it's not because they were lazy, it's because of perspective. What do I mean by this? Okay, so take an object here, like this manga, and this picture over here. If you wanted to rotate it, if you wanted to rotate it like this, no problem. You can do that easy. I can do that. I don't need any extra art assets. You just rotate it. But let's say that I wanted to rotate it like this, or like this, and have multiple sides, or even diagonally. I can't do that with this one picture. I can maybe kind of create a slight illusion, but I can't do that. You have to draw multiple pictures, and when you're drawing multiple pictures to provide a shift in perspective, something rotating, something moving on an axis, if you have any of those drawings that don't look quite right, the entire perspective, that entire rotation will look off. The trick of animation to the eye won't work. You'll spot it and you'll say, wow, that looks cheesy. Wow, that looks wrong. And that's why they use it for things like the rock opening up. That's why they use it for the door opening up, because it's a lot easier to make a CG model of, the shape of that and then move it within the environment than it is to draw a bunch of drawings that if you get one of them wrong, the entire thing isn't going to look right. And of course, I think there is an argument to be made over, well, if it's CG in the first place, it won't look right. But that is the reason that they use these things for perspective shots, is that it's a lot easier to create a model of something in a 3D environment, put a texture over it, and then just move it however way you want it to be moved, like you can in a computer-generated software. So yeah, I hope this explains something if you didn't know this, and if you did, then hey, maybe I pointed out some interesting examples of SpongeBob using CG for you. With that said, Pie Guy Rules out.